Hello YouTube, Beatty here, back another kicking action figure review. Today's review is over a figure I've been wanting for a long time. It is the Hasbro Iron Man 3 Modular Armor Iron Man, or Bleeding Edge Iron Man, Heroic Age Iron Man, whatever you want to call him. Very cool figure, one of my favorite Iron Man armors. Probably my favorite more modern armor, and then my favorite classic armor is probably Silver Centurion. Really love this look for Iron Man. I really dig it. You got this guy loose at Dragon Con, so I do not have the Build-A-Figure piece for Ironmonger. It doesn't matter though, because I'm not building Ironmonger. I have two pieces, but I am giving one to a friend, so it doesn't really matter. I do have to remember to grab that before I leave. But yeah, here he is. This Iron Man in all his glory. This sculpt has kind of been reused. They reused it for the Godkiller space armor thing in the Guardians of the Galaxy Infinite Series wave, and they also used it to kind of reissue this figure with a new paint job and an interchangeable head for like a UK Disney Store exclusive 5-pack. But it's really cool. I like this version the best out of the two that are modular armor, because I like the gold better than the yellow and stuff. I think he looks really good, honestly. Mine's legs are a little bowed out, I think, but that's nothing you can't fix with a little hot water and stuff, you know? I'll get around to it. He actually stands fine with them kind of out like that, so it doesn't really bother me right now. But yeah, so he's kind of got this red plastic here, which is very nice, and the gold's painted on, and both have a nice kind of shine to them. I really just like the way the paint came out. You got these little module arcs all over the place. Very cool. Detail on the bottom of the feet, but not painted. There are peg holes. Got reactor and all. I love the look of this suit. It's one of my favorite Marvel Universe figures also, is the modular armor. Very cool. I love how they did the eyes, the color in the eyes. Looks very, very nice. They don't have that kind of detail in the main arc, but it doesn't really bother me at all. Even the ones on his back are painted. Recently, Hasbro's kind of been skipping back paint. And correct me if I'm wrong, but the Iron Man 3 wave was kind of between Return of Marvel Legends and the Infinite Series. So yeah, but still, you know, I think it was a pretty cool wave, to be honest. I have 3 figures from it, and I like all of them, so yeah, very cool. Not the best wave in Hasbro Marvel Legends history, though. Now onto articulation. The head can look up some, can't really look down much, but if you can kind of like push it forward on the joint, he can look down quite a bit, and if you push it back on that joint there, he can look back a lot more for flying poses and stuff, because as you can see, he's got a excuse me, he's got a joint in there that's a little rough to move, because you can see if you don't use it, if you just use the ball, then he can only look certain ways, but it's pretty easy to get it to move however you want. And then he goes back quite a bit, forward a little, like a decent little amount, and the arms come up, forward and back, easy, bicep swivel, double elbow bend right there, which is very nice, as you can see. And now the wrist articulation is a tiny bit weak, but it's only because he kind of has this part coming off of the forearm here, and it blocks it a little, so you can't go back much, but he can come forward, and side to side, it kind of bends that out, so I don't really like to move him side to side a lot. But he does have a waist swivel, and this figure is actually in really good condition for me getting it loose. The joints are all nice and tight, and that right there is the only scratch on him. He's in pretty good condition. Anyways, he can do the splits, like full-on splits, which is really nice. Actually, that's a pretty good movement range. And then forward, kind of back, you know, just moving all around. And then you got a thigh swivel right there. Double knee bend, as you can see. Forward, back, right there on the foot. And also a pretty good ankle pivot. So yeah, ankle pivots are they're like one of the key articulation points for dynamic posing. Normally I don't do too much dynamic posing on in the reviews, but I got some in displays and stuff. It's pretty cool. I really like this guy. But now let's move on to some size comparisons. Now here's our Heroic Age Iron Man with some other figures from his line. Here on the left we have Iron Patriot comic version, and here on the right we have Ultron. Yeah, there were actually 2 waves of Iron Man 3 Legends, and Modular here and Iron Patriot are from the first wave, which was all comic figures. It was those 2, and also like a classic comic figure, if I remember correctly. And then in wave 2, we had that movie Iron Man, and then the movie Iron Patriot, and then we also had this Ultron. And if you got both waves, then you built Ironmonger. But yeah, as you can see, he scales well with both of these figures, even with his legs out farther than them. So I think it works really well. As you can see, Ultron's just a little bit taller, and he's about the same height as Iron Patriot, which just works out great. Now here's just some other figures from relatively recent Marvel Legends lines. Here on the left we have the Big Time Spider-Man from Return of Marvel Legend, and here on the right we have the movie Ant-Man from Marvel Legends Infinite series. Yeah, and honestly I think he scales well with both of them. He's a little taller than Spider-Man, even with their legs both out, and you know, he's about the same as Ant-Man too. Well, actually a little bigger than Ant-Man, which is good because he's in a full suit of armor. So I think he scales well with your modern Marvel Legends. He really does. Now here's just some older Toy Biz Marvel Legends figures. Here on the left we have Spider-Man, and on the right Carnage. Yes, Carnage is the Hasbro reissue, no need to point it out, but it is a Toy Biz sculpt, so it's fine. And actually, if you know what Spider-Man this is, feel free to tell me, because I do not know. I do not know. He's good though, I like him. But yeah, you know, honestly, I think he scales well with both of these figures. The bulks and stuff on the Hasbro and Toy Biz, they kind of vary. They look different bulk-wise, but height-wise, sometimes the Toy Biz seems a little short. But, you know, with Iron Man, there's a bit more room for interpretation, per se, because the armor would obviously make him much bigger, like taller and bulkier than he normally would be. So honestly, you know, I think he's going to work fine with most of your Toy Biz figures. I have all my Toy Biz and Hasbro stuff displayed together, so, you know, whatever floats your boat. Now here's our Iron Man with some Marvel Select figures from Diamond Select Toys, and honestly, he's not going to work well at all with them. Here on the left we have the Disney Store exclusive Superior Spider-Man, and here on the right we have the Anti-venom, and they're just way too big for him. It's not going to work out. So if you want him to scale well, he's going to have to go with Marvel Legends, because Marvel Select's just not going to work out. So all in all, what are my final thoughts on this modular armor Heroic Age Bleeding Edge Iron Man from Hasbro? Well, he's really cool, you know. Articulation's not bad, detail and paint's pretty cool, scales well, you know. He's a really nice figure. He doesn't really go above and beyond or anything, but he is really, really cool. And he was an original sculpt. We don't get that a lot, unless it's a movie figure. So it's really nice that Hasbro gave us this. I was very excited when he came out, but I never picked him up. Not totally sure why, because I really liked him, and now I have him. I got him for 15 bucks loose, which, you know, is fine, because in package I see him for 30 a lot. So I think I got out of that since I don't need the Ironmonger piece, and that's really all he came with. But yeah, this is a really cool figure. All in all, he gets 4 out of 5 stars. I really do like him. I think he'll go great in your Marvel Legends collection, or just your Iron Man collection, period. He's a really cool figure. So yeah, that's it, you guys. Please remember to rate, comment, subscribe. Check out all the cool links in the description below. Facebook, Twitter, follow me back on Twitter, all that jazz. So once again, thank you all so very much, and I'll see you all later.